My name is Ray Trott. I'm president of Trott Communications Group, which I started almost 33 years ago, and been an engineer for a lot. As far as retirement goes, I'm not looking forward to retirement. I hope I can. The only ones going to retire me, I guess, are my clients. But I'm going to keep going as long as I can, and we'll see what happens. I was drafted back right after the Korean War in the 50s, and the Army, as astute as it is, sent me to radar school, where I learned a little bit about electronics, and so it kind of was the catalyst that got me into electrical engineering. I cut my eye teeth on antennas, and so antennas was my specialty for a while. When I went to work for Texas Instruments, I did more than just antennas, and I kind of kid around with people at my 3-year tenure at TI. They work you so hard, I gained 6 years experience. When I was working on antennas and designing antennas for TI and Decibel products, then one of the projects I worked on was the Renaissance Tower in downtown Dallas. My job was to design the four corners and design the antennas and the ability for many transmitters to be used for those four antennas, and it was very successful, worked very fine, and everybody can see it in the evening because it's all lighted. How I got into the cellular business, while I was still at Decibel Products, I went to a symposium in Boulder, Colorado, in which was called the Microwave Mobile Symposium. Well, what does microwave mobile mean? So I went there to see if there was any potential on designing new types of antennas for kind of a new industry. And this is a symposium that was all about cellular. It was, I don't know who sponsored it, but it was loaded with AT&T engineers and some of the manufacturers, and I'm sure Motorola was included with it. And that was the beginning of cellular. At that time, cellular was not used. It wasn't coined yet. I don't know who coined the frame cellular. It was probably Marty Cooper or somebody like that framed the word cellular. But anyways, that was the beginning of cellular. And 6, 7 years later, it hit the street. And in my business, I've traveled the world and worked on some very interesting projects. One of the first projects was in Prague, right after the communists were kicked out, and Prague telephone company wanted a cellular system to replace some of their hardwired systems, and so I went out and worked on that. Went to Saudi Arabia, where I gave a talk on simulcast systems. Did some work in Egypt. We worked in Israel and South America, where we worked on cellular systems. Haven't been any jobs in the Riviera yet, but we've been some pretty good spots. When I received a call informing me that I was selected for induction into the Wireless Hall of Fame, I was really taken aback. I was wowed, so to speak. And then subsequently, I received a list of those inductees that went ahead of me, and it's hard for me to picture how I fit in with some of those people. I knew several of them are personal friends of mine, and even the ones that have passed, I was very close to. And so it's a culmination of all the awards that I've received in my career. And I know my career is probably not going to last too much longer, but I'm going to do it as long as I can. But this has to be the best award I've ever received.